And you'd be surprised how many people are out there that are just not teachable. They think they know everything already, they're dialed in, and they will never grow, never move forward. But for me, I'm at the top end, I'm fishing against the best in the world, and when we do these breakout sessions, I guarantee you I'll talk to you guys and I'll learn something. I just watched Crete's thing and I learnt Crete's seminar, and I learnt tons just already. I'm continually soaking it up. But in saying that, I also want to try and put my own swing on things. So I don't want to see exactly what Jeff was doing there and go and try and emulate that to a T. I want to look at it, I want to learn it, and I want to take it, and then I want to put my own swing on things. That's probably the biggest key. Trying to do what Van Dam does with a crankbait is, even though I've got the energy and I've got the smarts and everything to do it, I'm never going to be able to do it as good as him. So I'm going to learn from him, see what he's doing, then I'm going to put my own swing on it that works for me. And that's what I want you to take away from this seminar. It's Humminbird, Minn Kota, Talon, and you guys might use different ones, but little things that I show you, hopefully you'll be able to say, oh, that's going to work for what I use. So this is the rig. I might go to the next one. That's the top of my rig. That was last year's boat, but this year's boat's almost exactly the same. And I run Minn Kota, Humminbird, Talon, and LakeMaster. And I get such a huge advantage because they all talk to each other. Every single thing connects to each other. So if I ran a different graph, different shallow water anchors, a different trolling motor, each thing would do an individual, its own job. With Minn Kota, Humminbird, Talon, LakeMaster, every single thing talks to each other. So I'm just at a huge advantage to be able to, work all those things together, make it easier for me, make it better for catching fish. So straight up, we are going to go to probably the most important one, and that's LakeMaster mapping. So everyone's got mapping on their units, but this is where I'm going to do all of my study before I hit the lake. Every single thing that I want to know about a lake is right here. So I'm going to sit in front of that graph when I'm in the man cave in the garage and I'm sitting in the boat. I'm going to be staring at that thing, that exact mapping, when after the tournament, pre-fish, right before I get there, in the morning. Literally everything you need to know is telling you on these maps. It's so detailed. I spent the first 10 years of my life competing in Australia, never had contour lines, never had mapping, nothing. So you would find fish and you would just literally not even know why they were there, what was happening. You just found them, and you used to have GPS so you could mark them, but you never knew why they were there, and then you couldn't go and replicate it. Now we can catch fish, look at that map, see exactly where they were, and then go and replicate it all over the lake. It makes life so much easier. And now with the colour gradings, this is it's probably one of the biggest advantages that LakeMaster have, is the colour that you can see there, red, blue, green, standing out, and we're going to go through why that just makes life so much easier. So we'll go to the next page. So this is the brand new Solix units. It works on the Helix units. Everything. If you've got a Humminbird, it will have LakeMaster in the last last two models. And this is where I'm going to set it to show me exactly where these fish are going to be. So if I'm out there fishing and it's summertime and I find some fish in 22 feet of water, I can basically adjust these ranges here for the green to come up and show me where 22 feet of water is over the entire lake. And it's basically going to narrow everything down and show me where everything is. So straight up, quite the few different ones, I'm going to have the shallow water, which is going to be in red, which we saw on the last page. I'm going to set it to 6 feet. So the entire lake, anywhere that's 1 foot to 6 foot, is going to be in bright red. I'm going to be able to see shallow humps, a shallow spot, and then the dangerous spots, where not to go, where not to stay on pad when I'm at a new lake that I've never known. So the shallow water highlight I'm going to have in bright red. And then the depth colours I'm going to have at 5. So that's going to give me 5 depth shadings. So I can grade each one. And You know, some of the other units, they have the shades, but they're sort of a blue, a little bit lighter blue, and they go through, where Humminbird has the red, the green, the super bright colours, which just makes everything stand out, makes it all distinct. So now I'm going to have the depth highlight. So I'm fishing Kentucky Lake, wherever. I find some fish in 25 feet of water, and that's where they seem to be sitting, or the thermocline's in 25 feet or whatever, or I want to look for humps in 25. I'm going to put that depth highlight at 25 feet, and then here I'm going to set the highlight range. So the narrower I want it, I want to have 1 foot, and then that will give me 1 foot either side of 25 feet. It's going to highlight in that fluoro green colour. Or if I'm like not quite sure, I want that around the 24 foot, I'm going to set the highlight range to 4 feet or 5 feet, and then it's going to highlight 25 feet and 4 feet either side of that to give me a broader range of that green colour. But this is the biggest advantage that we have in mapping, and where I first learnt it was, and the power of it.
It's Mike Iaconelli. This is Bass U TV.
Here's what's awesome about Bass U TV.
You get the top instructors.
Real tools that help you catch more fish consistently.
And that's why you want to check out Bass U TV.
Join the Bass U family.
Welcome to Bass U TV.